Okay, so here's an example of how to use our Ansible, create Ansible roles. So like I say, Ansible Galaxy init, maybe this role is going to be to handle NFS servers, and it creates this directory NFS. So if you look at that, you can see that it created this directory structure with all these subdirectories and files in it. If you care to look at one of those, like our tasks, it's just just placeholder files. I mean, you can look at any of these, NFS, handlers, main, just placeholders. Just it creates our logical structure for this role. Now, let me just show you an example of some of these roles that I've created, and you can just get an idea of how they work. So, all right. So roles. So let's look, I have an Apache role. So Apache. So looks very similar. And let's go take a look in there. Less Apache tasks, the main YAML file. You can see all I've done is just put my tasks in here. So instead of putting it in a playbook, I put it in this role tasks file. And once again, the reason for doing that is a little bit more modularity. We can reuse this as we need to. You can see that I actually, remember that's a variable. We can replace that with a variable later on. So I'm replacing that with a variable later on so that I can set this up for any cs.dixie.edu website that I need to host, and I might have a couple. So there's that. And in fact, let's see, what does it do? It's, it's doing a copy. And the source file is dynamic, and so that's probably over in my files directory. So you see I've created anyway, I've created a Apache virtual host file that would be copied over there when needed. Let's see if there's anything in maybe handlers. So I just have a handler over there. Okay, not too exciting. And then I don't know, I might have some other stuff going. Let's see if I have anything in Apache vars. Nope, not over there. So the vars, the variable is not coming from that, nor is it coming from that. It's probably coming from my playbook. So the last part of a role is you have to put these roles together. You have to call these roles at some point. So as I look over in my playbooks, I'm gonna bet it's probably in this website called Helios. This is my playbook. So as you look here, here's my hosts. We've seen this before. This is a typical playbook, but here are the roles that I want this to apply to. Now, I guess I'm kind of doing it the old way, but it works. So I go specify a path to the role that I'm invoking, and then here's my variables that the role will need to be aware of, or the playbook would need to be aware of in order to do its stuff. And I don't know why I put my handlers over here. I can put additional tasks here that apply only to this playbook. So it would go to the tasks over here, but then I can have some customized tasks that only apply to this. In fact, that wasn't the Apache one, was it? Maybe I didn't use that particular one. Let's see if I have maybe an NFS role. So yeah. So once again, actually I did it down here. So I did it up here at the top. You saw where I said, oh, this has this role and this has this role, and then you can do it up there. You can do it wherever you want. And down here, as one of my custom tasks inside this playbook, I told it to go import this other role and pass in these variables to it, and then it would go do that particular role. So hopefully that gives you kind of a little bit of an idea of how you use a role.